alone is expensive.
Mylar balloons can be $2 to $3 to $4 per balloon.
The price is up there.
I've never seen that many Mylars in my life.
Not counting the ones that popped.
It was like towering over you, balloons everywhere.
So I would take a guess of the grand total to be like no, balloons aren't cheap. Using that many feet of balloons and like
It's not cheap.
And not just the balloons, but
it was so many. And yes, by the way, if you want to see exactly how much we spent, stay till the end of the video because we are going to calculate it all and show you we're not playing. Hey guys, it's Crystal popping in to let you all know about our balloon count calculator for organic balloon displays. We use this tool when we are planning out our designs and pricing to make sure we don't have any waste when purchasing balloons. We've already created the formula and this is going to save you time and money. There is a link in our description to purchase it.
So it was like a random Friday and I had to go into a meeting with Nikki and Crystal.
When we first got inquiry about this masquerade event, I was like, cool, we love a good masquerade party. We've done it plenty of times before, but how could we jazz it up? Make it different, make it better. We don't want to do the same thing as we usually do.
You know, it's a common theme. So immediately I was just like, how can we make this something that will be remembered? I was just drawn to trying to use Mylar balloons in a different way. When I think of Mylar balloons, I think of them almost like pieces of jewelry. Like we accessorize with Mylars.
When it comes to a masquerade party, you obviously want to throw in some masks in the setup, but like we also wanted to incorporate cool, different things, such as adding in like different type of Mylars that we never really used.
Specific types of Mylars give me the feeling of like, what do you call that? I don't know how to say it, but it's like the Fleur de, you know what I'm talking about from New Orleans? Let me call.
Hello.
What do you call that? You know, it's like Fleur de, like the New Orleans. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
You know how New Orleans has the floor, like
The floor?
Fleur de, what do you call it?
Street.
No. Fleur de Lis. Because it's like masquerade, Fleur de Lis. It gave me that vibe. Like we spent days creating this, right? You guys are the ones that helped do it. If I say, okay, this is the theme, this is the color scheme, we know we want to use feathers, we know we want to use Mylars. How do y'all then translate that into like a mock-up or an animation or something that the client sees? Like
We definitely want to give them a wow factor. So when building the mock-ups, I just kept thinking to myself, like, what can I do different? How can I make this grand? Instead of the traditional like gold and just black masquerade look, we wanted to give it like a good maroon, maybe a more sophisticated upscale look, but still giving like, you know, the funness of the masquerade theme.
So then when I was making the logo for this, I mean, we started out with like a red with like glitter, and you know, they also said they didn't want feathers. And we're all like, there's so many feathers in masquerades. Like, how do you want a mask that's not gonna have feathers? You know, at least that's getting us somewhere so where they could tell me like, okay, I like this, but I don't like that. Go back to the drawing board. And I was like, understood. And then we're like, okay, let's add some more texture into it. So then that's when we came up with the final logo with like a maroon with, it gave me like money.
I think that the stage, okay, to me, a stage is just super, super important. Like, it's an important focal point to the event. That was something that evolved. It evolved with like the original mock-up that we sent to the client. You know, we had to do a few renditions of it, and even our final one that ended up at the event was even better than, you know, our last mock-up.
The stage was like a beautiful grand finale to everything your eyes already laid upon. Like, you come off the elevator, you see this great photo backdrop. You enter the actual room, you see an amazing, beautiful entryway. But when you get into it all, you just see like the most massive stage display that like captivated everything.
Put it this way. I knew I wanted to use a lot of Mylar balloons. I didn't know exactly how.
The crazy thing is that we didn't even plan on making it that big and great until we got to the space and we were like, you know what? Why not?
I was gonna say, what if you put Mylar hooks? I was gonna say on the top. So first off, you could put them on the top and then hook them down. And sometimes that's just how the best things happen.
And when Crystal was like, use every single one of them, we were like, okay. Crystal said, we got all these balloons, we're gonna throw it on the stage. Oh, extra neon lights, throw it on the stage. Oh, extra sequins that we packed, throw it on the stage. Dude, even the extra workers, throw them on the stage. A lot of hands were on deck on the stage. I know that for sure. I even had to, come in a little bit. Crystal was like, help us a little, and I was like, okay, like.
Really, when that photo backdrop moment started to come together, it was just a matter of taking those Mylars, shaping them around that main sign, and then creating this design inspired by the masquerade and the fleur-de-lis. That one and that one. There, we removed that 5-inch little one.
Yeah, this one. It's a Velcro. Like that.
And it adds up. It was easily a few $1,000s in balloons alone. Just, the cost of buying them, not the cost of blowing them up, not the cost of, the labor of putting them together.
The labor of it all was a lot, so I can only imagine the actual price of the balloons. So I would take a guess of the grand total to be like $5,000, I would say.
Honestly. And because we use those good balloons, like, with that, like $1,000, maybe? Let us know in the comments what your guess is to us. Don't be cheating, don't be skip it to the end. Put your real guess right now in the comments. I mean, the hanging decor, like, honestly, that's my favorite. And like, now I'm like, can we put hanging decor in every event? Cause I never seen anything like it. And like, I know Crystal said like, it gave her like jewelry vibes. And like, I was like, yes. There's such like unique shapes to them. And like the gold was just like that perfect gold color that like you could look around and see everywhere. And it was just like, the ceiling was just dripping in like luxury.
I love using hanging decor because it really goes far in the overall design of the event. So I'm glad that they really chose to go that direction. Day of setup went great. Everyone knew what they were supposed to do. They worked their stations from the top to the bottom.
Crystal was able to split and divide us all into like focused sections. I had the duty of handling the entrance photo backdrop moment.
I love to do, especially whenever we get the opportunity to, is to use the link balloons. Because the link balloons look like, here we go again, a piece of jewelry, right?
We had just recently did our draping, which I mean, our client, big fan of us, and watched our draping, which if you haven't seen it, it'll be linked. And that one, they liked that, so then they wanted to incorporate that in their lobby, setup. So then that had the draping, it had like the nice beads.
Me and Kyra are on the duty of the entrance. They're gonna come off the elevators, witness this beauty that's not completed just yet.
Not quite.
But we're on
As
the
you
road.
see, I'm still putting Mylars to hang up more.
The entryway, first off, I believe that the entryway is one of the most important elements of an event, okay? Why? Because it sets the tone for every single guest that walks through that door. So you always want it to be a wow factor, and that was no exception for this event.
I was amazed because I was like, as soon as you open the store, it's like, I can't believe I'm a part of this team. Like, everybody's so creative. Like, this is crazy.
The entryway was badass. Can I say that? While I was in my little corner setting up the photo backdrop, I would like go peep a little bit here and there. But once the actual event started and seeing all the dim lights and all of our uplightings up and like just everything come together at the end, especially at that entry moment, like that was something I wanted to walk through and get my own pictures of because it was just so beautiful. Like,
Okay, so let's break down our costs when it comes to creating this masquerade event. We'll do this by section. At our first photo moment, we used a combination of 40 feet of latex balloons and we adorned it with Mylars and Q-link balloons. Our total in this section was $252.54. Once guests turned the corner, they entered our awesome entryway into the event. This was around 40 feet long. We used balloons as more of an accent to the other decorative elements we brought in. Our total in this section was $302.53. Our last section was our stage, which was a major focal point of the event. Here we used a combination of latex round balloons in all sizes, Mylars, and Q-link balloons, and our total was $665.98. So, with the combination of each section, including the other areas of the event, our overall total spent was $2,541.83. So, was it all worth it? You tell us. Let's discuss in the comments. One thing we know for sure, our client loved it. So if you like this video, then I'm sure you're gonna love the next one.